Hey guys, what is up? This is Cam, and I want to start doing more videos for this music channel. I want to just kind of start like connecting with you guys a little bit more. Maybe even grow this channel a little bit. Who knows? Primarily, this channel is just about me putting my music on here and stuff like that. But I want to do other things on here, music related, because I love music, man. And if you guys love music too, like we probably connect on that, especially if you guys like rock music and you guys like just kind of weird acoustic music, weird guy playing acoustic guitar in their basement kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. Okay, so if you like that kind of stuff, that lo-fi, just acoustic guitar, cheap acoustic guitar, banging out a song, in somebody's backyard or something, like no effects, no anything like this, boom, right at your face, like that. I love that kind of stuff. I seek that kind of stuff out on YouTube. Like these days, when I look for people doing cover songs, man, I am always looking for like the person who has like the least fancy setup possible. I want the person who's like, I want the girl or the guy who's like sitting on the edge of their bed, just trying to like pick something out on their acoustic guitar. And a lot of times I'm drawn to the stuff that you wouldn't think, how could you even do an acoustic version of that song? And I'm looking for the person who's doing that. So that's the kind of stuff I'm into. But anyways, look, that's not what I want to talk about today. So last summer, all right, I was going garage selling with my family. Okay, it's one of the things I love doing in the summer, and we were at this garage sale, and this guy had this stack of old Spin magazines. I don't know if you remember Spin magazine or not. If you remember them, if you were like a big music fan in the 80s and 90s, they were kind of like the Rolling Stones. I don't think Spin magazine's around anymore. But back in the 80s and 90s, Spin magazine was a pretty big magazine. Anyways, this guy had like a stack of old Spin magazines from like the 80s and 90s. And like I said, how much do you want for the stack of old Spin magazines? And he's like, $4, right? So I got the whole stack of, and I'll show you the stack. I got the whole stack of Spin magazines for $4, and I had no idea what I was gonna do with them, right? And like I'm telling you guys, like they sat in my garage all winter long, and here we are. We're about to next summer, and like just the other day, I got an inspiration for something I could do with this pile of Spin magazines. I was looking through them, just kind of getting like nostalgia. I'm 48 years old, so I remember the 80s and 90s. Okay, and I got some nostalgia. I said, you know what? Maybe I'll do like a video and put this on my music channel where I just show people the covers of these magazines. So I thought that's what I'd do today. So if you're interested in looking at some old Spin magazine covers with me, that's what I'm going to do. This first one that I'll show you, all right, we're going to go through them together. I'll show you my haul, Spin magazine haul, I guess you could say. This is from April. Now, these are beat up, okay? These are beat up magazines, but I still think they're really cool. This first one is from April of 1986. Boom. David Lee Roth, man, on the cover of Spin magazine from 1986, man. April. That cover, I don't know if you can see that, but that cover says $2. $2 for a Spin magazine from 86, man. Unbelievable. David Lee Roth on the cover. And it says, I don't know if you can see that, but it says David Lee Roth alone. Because this is about the time that David Lee Roth left Van Halen, right? So, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. We got a lot of these to get through, so let me get through some more of them for you. Now, this is a beat up pile. The second one was just a loose leaf, Newport ad. Man, I'm looking through these old magazines, and what I find is a lot of them have alcohol ads, a lot of them have smoking cigarette ads, and there's a lot of stories in there about drug use. And I think like, man, dude, back in the 80s and 90s, man, I didn't realize it back then, but man, smoking was really put up on a pedestal. Alcohol and beer, we put that up on a pedestal, and man, doing drugs, I think we kind of romanticized that a little bit. So, maybe that's one thing that maybe has changed for the better a little bit. I don't think people romanticize drinking and smoking and doing drugs as much as they used to. So that's a good thing. But looking through these magazines, I realized how much we did kind of romanticize that stuff back then, you know? It's weird how the times change. But anyways, the next one, this is from November, and I'll tell you when it's from. This is from November of 1986. This is from 86 too. And guess who's on the cover of it? In November of 86, all right? Iggy Pop. You guys got to remember, okay? This was before Nirvana. This is before grunge hit the scene. This is 86, all right? Iggy Pop on the cover of Spin Magazine. $2, right? Burning down the house. Iggy Pop. His first interview in 4 years. Iggy Pop. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, the next one is from September. Okay, I'm guessing this is from 86 too. I think I got a little bit of a run here. This is from 86 as well. The next one's from September of 86. All right, guess who it is? The one and only Ozzy Osbourne. Right? Dude's pretty young looking there, man. 1986, Ozzy Osbourne. $2. Spin Magazine. Atlanta child murders. Reopen the case. Spin Magazine. Ozzy Osbourne, the rock madman, talks about sex, drugs, and suicide. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, man. Talking about the crazy stipulations of YouTube, you know. All right, this next one's pretty beat up, but I think it's pretty cool too. This is from August, okay? This next one's from August of 1986, all right? August of 1986. The cover's actually torn off a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe I'll tape that back together. August of 1986, man. Mick Jagger. Boy, he was young there, wasn't he? 1986. $2, man. $2. The Rolling Stones. It's almost over now. The Stones run out of reasons for staying together. In 1986, the Rolling Stones are running out of reasons to stay together. Mick Jagger on the cover. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Crazy. Unbelievable. All right. The month before that, in July of 1986. July of 1986. You're never going to guess who's on the cover of Spin Magazine in July of 1986, okay? Boom! Prince. Prince. Pretty young looking there, man. Pretty young looking there. Back before he was the artist formerly known as, you know, Prince on the cover of Spin Magazine in 1986 in August, or July, I should say. Crazy. All right, now this is June, the month before that. The month before that, still $2, right? Boom. Billy Idol on the cover of Spin Magazine. This is in June. June of 1986. Billy Idol, looking young as ever, man. On the cover of Spin Magazine. I don't know what to do with all these Spin Magazines, guys. I'm telling you, they're cool. They're kind of beat up, but they're still really cool, you know? Okay, check it out. This was May. Now I'm checking the years on these really quick, guys, because I'm not sure if all of these are from Yeah, this is May of 1986, all right? Boom. Charlie Sexton, right there. Boom. Now, I'm not too familiar with Charlie Sexton, to be honest with you. Then we get a little thing up there. Hunter Thompson, still crazy after all these years. Hunter Thompson, still crazy after all these years. Charlie Sexton, second coming or what? Right? I'm not too familiar with Charlie Sexton's music, but I do think that's a pretty cool cover, you know? Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, what's next? This one I really thought was awesome. This is October, okay? This is October, all right? Also 1986, October, Spin Magazine, boom, REM. This is before grunge, okay? This is before grunge. There's REM. You know, Michael Stipe still has hair back in 1986, you know? It's funny, man, because REM's pretty much retired now. I don't even think they're making music anymore. But yeah, man, this is before they were big time, you know. Yeah, they were on the cover of Spin magazine, but they were still coming up, man. Not everybody knew who they weren't the world famous rock and roll icons that they are today, for sure. They're like legends. They weren't legends back when this picture was taken. They were getting popular, but this was before grunge rock. I mean, this is before, this is before all that stuff. Crazy. Okay. Who's next? Who's next? This is March. Okay. That was October of 1986. Okay. The next one is also 1986. This is March of 1986. I should have put these in order. All right. Big Audio Dynamite. Big Audio Dynamite. Okay. Mick Jones makes good. Now, I'm not too familiar with Big Audio Dynamite, to be honest. I'm not too familiar. I probably would know some of the songs, but I'm not too familiar with this band. So if you guys know who this is, you're familiar, you're a big fan of Big Audio Dynamite, give me a shout in the comment section. Let me know, what they did. What should I know? What music should I know by these guys? I'm sure that there's music I've heard by them, and it's just not coming out my mind. But in 1986, man, they were big enough, they were hot enough to make the cover of Spin magazine. Pretty cool. All right, what's next? February. Okay, now what month are we talking? What year are we talking about? Okay, this is February of 1986. Back in February of now look, guys, we're talking about 96, 2006, 2016. 2026 would be 40 years, okay? So we're talking about covers. We're talking about artists from 40 years ago. 40 years ago, man. Unbelievable. Absolutely unreal. And who's on the cover of February, like 40 years ago? It was ZZ Top, all right? ZZ Top, right? Spin magazine. This is 1986, ZZ Top, all right? Spin magazine, $2, America's Rhodes Scholars. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Huh, wow. I'll tell you what, Billy Gibbons, man, I don't know, he looks different there to me, man. That's crazy. He doesn't even look the same to me, man. He doesn't even look the same at all. That was 1986. When these magazines came out, man, in 1986, I was 10 years old. All right, I was 10 years old. I probably didn't even know who ZZ Top was when I was 10 years old. So, crazy. All right, who got the first cover of Spin magazine in 1986? All right, who got the first cover? All right, I'm going to tell you guys. You guys can guess in the comment section if you want, but I'm getting ready to tell you. Boom. It was Debbie Harry. All right. Blondie, right? Debbie Harry, exclusive interview, January 1986. All right. All right, now look, the next cover, you're probably wondering, cool, are we going to 1987 or are we going backwards to 1985? I'm going to tell you, the next cover goes backwards to 1985. This is December of 1985. All right. It was Bob Dylan. December of 1985, Bob Dylan on the cover. This is 40 years ago, man. 40 freaking years ago. There's Bob Dylan on the cover of Rolling Stone. 85, 95, 2005, 2015, 2025. Crazy, dude. Bob Dylan's still alive. This was 40 years ago. Yeah, man. Bob Dylan, not like a Rolling Stone interview. There's an interview in here with Bob Dylan, man. I should read that to you guys sometime. Read this interview from 1985. That might be pretty cool. I got to do something with this stack of magazines, man. I got to get some content out of them or something just to kind of like, I paid $4 for them. I got to get something out of them. They're cool. I didn't know what I was doing with them. I didn't know if maybe I could like sell them on eBay, like vintage, but they're kind of beat up, they're kind of beat up. And I don't know if anyone wants like some beat up, Spin magazines. but I think they're really cool. Then I thought, hey, maybe my kids want to use them to make like some art, like a vision board or something. Who knows? But then I thought, oh man, I don't know if I want to cut these up. These are really cool. So now I'm just kind of stuck with this pile of old Spin magazines. The next thing is like this loose leaf. I don't know where this came from. There's not a magazine this fits with, but it's just like this empty back of a magazine. It's a Michelob Classic Dark beer ad. All right, and then on the back, if you want to know what it is a man. Look, it's a CD player. Okay, look at this CD player on this thing, man. It's crazy. Technics, making a compact disc player that's portable is one thing. Taking it beyond is Technics. Introducing the Technics fully programmable portable compact disc player. Boom. The science of sound. This is old school, right? This was 19. I don't know when this ad is from, to be honest. This is a loose leaf. I'm guessing this is the late 80s is when I'm guessing that ad was from, but I have to look that up. Okay, I got another one for you. Okay, now this one's going to throw you off because this next one, we're flash forwarding to December of 1992. This next Spin magazine is from December of 1992. I see that the price has jumped from $2 to $3.50. So in 1992, Spin magazine was $3.50, not $2. So it had went up in price a little bit in those few years. And who's on the cover in 1992? This is December. This is the very end of 1992, and I bet you can guess who's on the cover. I bet you can guess. Boom. 1992. The year in music, right? Nirvana, Artist of the Year. And on the cover, we got Kurt Cobain holding his baby, Frances Bean, and Courtney Love right there on the cover. We got a story about Malcolm X, because it was 1992. Grunge rock was taking over the world in 1992. And of course, people were into like Malcolm X in 1990 for whatever reason, People were into Malcolm X in 1992. And Family Values Tour. Oh no, that's not the Family Values Tour. That came much later. This was Family Values, exclusive interview with Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love from Spin Magazine. I'm sure you can probably find this interview online. But it's pretty cool. Now, if you want to know the other artists, you can see the other artists featured in here. Pearl Jam, right? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Arrested Development, Ministry, Pavement, Criss Cross. 20 best albums of 1992. The year in film at the bottom. I wonder what the 20 best albums of 1992. You guys want to hear them? I got to find them. The 20 best albums of 1992. Man, I'll tell you what's a trip is some of these. Here's an ad. Automatic for the People. An ad for REM in there. Man, do you remember when you used to buy magazines and there was ads in there for CDs and stuff? Let me see if I can find the 20 best albums of the year. I'll tell you guys what they are real quick. This is 67. All right, 67. Okay, 64, 65. All right, I got it. 20 best albums of the year. Listen, man, I don't want to smart alecks in my comment section talking about, hey, man, why didn't you edit this video so we don't have to just get to it, Don't do it, man. Don't even do it, all right? Don't even start with me, man. Don't even start with me. Like, it's not my job to edit videos for my music channel, okay? So anyways, look, I'm putting this video here for the people who are interested in it. If you're not interested, if you want to if you're like a don't bore us, get to the chorus kind of person, yeah, this video is probably not for you, man, because I meander a lot, all right? I meander around a lot, so anyways, look, check it out. 20 best albums of the year, 1992, in order, as rated by the editors of Spin Magazine, the now defunct Spin Magazine. Number 1, Pavement, Slanted and Enchanted. Number 2, Arrested Development, 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days in the life of ... Number 3, Sonic Youth, Dirty. Number 4, Beastie Boys, Check Your Head. Number 5, Ministry, Psalm 69. I think we remember a lot of these records, don't we, guys? We remember a lot of these records. Number 6, Sugar, Copper Blue. Number 7, Nene Cherry, Homebrew. I'm not familiar, man. I'm not familiar. Okay, I'm not familiar with the last two. I can tell you right now, I'm not familiar with these last two. All right, number 8, Unrest, Imperial FFRR. Not familiar. Don't know who that is. Basement, Play with Toys. I think I've heard of that, but I'm not too familiar with the record. Number 10, Ween, The Pod. Yes, I'm familiar with this record, The Pod. I'm very familiar with this band, Ween. So, a buddy of mine back when I was in the Navy introduced me to Ween, and I've liked them ever since. They're pretty cool. Number 11, Mudhoney, Piece of Cake. Everybody should know Mudhoney, man. I love Mudhoney. Big time grunge band from Seattle. They were hitting their stride in 1992. Like probably punching above their weight, to be honest. Let's be real. Like when you think about Mudhoney, they're a cool band, a great band. They kind of rode that wave of grunge rock. And like they probably were never really meant to be like some kind of like commercially successful band. It was like a right place, right time for a band like Mudhoney. They were probably punching above their weight in 1992. They were always meant to be kind of like this, kind of like underground, fringe rock band of the counterculture. And that's just what they were meant to be, man. And, people loved bands like that in 1992. People loved bands that were never meant to be some kind of big popular arena rock band. But we were at a weird time in history where weird fringe bands that were just kind of cool for the counterculture became these giant like arena rock bands for whatever reason, Anyways, 12, Urge Overkill, Stall EP, right? 13, Tom Waits, Bone Machine. Man, you gotta love a good Tom Waits CD, man. You gotta love Tom Waits. Awesome. 14, Lyle Lovett, Joshua Judge's Ruth. I mean, I've heard of Lyle Lovett, but I've never listened to this record, Joshua Judge's Ruth. I've never listened to the record. So if you guys have heard that record and you like it, let me know in the comment section. 15, Morrissey, Your Arsenal. I've never been a huge Morrissey fan. I know, this is one of those artists where people love Morrissey. A lot of people love Morrissey. It's like one of those artists where, you feel like you're supposed to like him because you heard so many good things about him and so many people love him. But I've just never really gotten into Morrissey, man. I've never really been into that music. As an artist, I haven't really ever gotten into it. It's just not my jam. Now, on the flip side of that, I really like The Cure. I'm a big Cure fan. So figure that one out. You tell me. 16, In Vogue, Funky Divas. I don't think I have much of a point of view of that. I don't think I've ever listened to that before. I probably have heard it. That's like a hip hop kind of, not hip hop, but like a pop record. In Vogue. It's probably like really, really popular, and it's just like going over my head. 17, Babes in Toyland, Fontanelle. This is Babes in Toyland, rock band. Of course, I've heard of them. I never really gotten a chance to really listen to their music that much. There's so many bands out there. There's so much music out there. Sometimes I'll discover a band like years and years and years after they were popular. I remember for Alter Bridge. Alter Bridge is a band forever. I only listened to their one album, Blackbird. I love that Blackbird record from Alter Bridge, but I never felt inspired to go listening to their other records for whatever reason. And just maybe a couple years ago, I just said, you know what? I want to listen to all the Alter Bridge records. And that's one good thing I'll say about Spotify, is you can get on Spotify and you can just go through the whole discography, listening to their records. Just spend a couple weeks with one band and just go through their whole catalog. And that's what I did for Alter Bridge. And after I was done, I was a huge fan. Now, another band I did that with was Killswitch Engage, right? And I became a massive fan of Killswitch Engage and Alter Bridge after exploring their whole catalog. So anyways, 18, PJ Harvey. All right. PJ Harvey Dry is the name of the record. And I know about PJ Harvey. I've listened to some of her music. My wife is a big PJ Harvey fan. And she's introduced me to some of her music back when we first got together. But I don't know if I've ever listened to this record dry before. I'm not like some kind of huge PJ Harvey fan, even though I respect her music and I like some of the stuff I've heard. 19, Prince. Paisley Park, Warner Brothers. So this Prince record, it was just like a symbol. It was like his symbol. That was the name of the record. This is I'm just looking at what they say about it. They say, to hear Prince declare, "My name is Prince and I am funky," warms the cockles. But to hear Prince boast his b-boy supremacy and then shimmy through one slinky R&B revamp after another is the ultimate gas. Prince has finally caught up with the new Jack culture. One can only wonder whether his newfound status as a mega millionaire and a corporate VP jeopardizes future tracks as the blissful puerile as sexy MF. I don't know, man. That's funny. That's crazy, man. In 1992, they were talking about like his newfound status as a mega millionaire, if that's going to ruin like the integrity of his music. Crazy, man. Looking back on it from 2025, I guess we realize it didn't. People still acknowledge Prince as this, genius. I'll tell you, when I first really started liking Prince was when I saw him play at the Super Bowl. I was never a big Prince guy before that because I was like, man, I'm not into that R&B music that much. It's just not my thing. He's kind of a pop R&B guy. I'm more of a rock guy, so it's just not something I'm really into. But I saw him play at the Super Bowl, and I wasn't looking forward to it. I was like, oh, man, Prince is doing a halftime show. Man, I don't care about that. And then when I saw him play, and he started, the way he could play his guitar, I was like, whoa, man, this dude's got some serious skills, and yeah, that turned me into a Prince fan. I gained a lot of respect for him from the Super Bowl halftime show. So I think it worked, right? You think about, why do you do a Super Bowl halftime show? Why does an artist do a Super Bowl halftime show? To expose themselves to a larger group of people, right? Well, I can tell you firsthand, watching Prince back there, who was it? It was the Bears, and they were playing. I can't remember who the Bears were playing in that Super Bowl. But I remember my uncle is a huge Bears fan, so he was really, really excited to watch the Bears. But anyways, whatever. Anyways, that's cool that Prince is on this list. And the last one, 20, Megadeth. Countdown to Extinction. And I think we all know Countdown to Extinction has stood the test of time. It is a classic record. What did Spin Magazine say about it in 1992? They said, not many metal bands of whatever variety can muster the formidable chops Megadeth exhibits on Countdown, and fewer still possess the taste not to flaunt those chops at every opportunity. The new improved Megadeth puts songwriting skills before technical prowess with salutary results. Symphony of Destructions, concise, catchy structure, provides the perfect vehicle for frontman Dave Mustaine's improving vocals. Now, if he could just write some better lyrics. Hey, listen, you say what you want to say. I think most of us would agree that Countdown to Extinction has stood the test of time. It's a classic. So anyways, yeah. That was 1992, Spin Magazine, $3.50. Nirvana on the cover. All right, that's a pretty cool one right there. This next one, it goes back to 1980. This is November. This is November of 1985, okay? So we take a step way, way back to 1985, before grunge rock was a thing. Guess who's on the cover in November of 1985? Spin Magazine, still $2. It's Bruce Springsteen, okay? The Boss. What? The Boss. Fanfare for the common man, Bruce Springsteen. One of my favorite artists, man. I love The Boss, man. He's awesome. I really look at him playing that freaking Telecaster, man. Look at that Telecaster. Amazing. That's a really cool cover, man. Really cool. All right. October, okay? October is the next one. Okay, October is the next one. And I'm going to tell you where it's from, okay? This is October of 1985. Imagine it, guys. 40 years ago. 1985. 40 freaking years ago. Everyone was getting ready for Halloween, you know? Can you imagine what Halloween was like in 1985? I can. I was there, man. I was 10 years old, okay? I was having a blast going trick-or-treating with my cousins and my sister. 1985, man. Keith Richards on the cover of Spin magazine. He was young looking there, wasn't he? Man, he was probably drugged out of his mind, dude. Maybe not. Who knows, man? Who knows? But this was 1985, and Keith Richards is on the cover of Spin magazine. Back to school exploitation issue. Absolutely no articles about back to school. Absolutely no articles about back to school. Keith Richards, Spin magazine, 1985, October, right? And this next one's a tragedy, man. It's a freaking tragedy, and I'll tell you why. Because this next one, like, I don't have a cover for it, man. I do not have a cover for it, man. I do not have a cover for it, right? This next one is, okay. This next one, hold on a second, guys. We got to figure this out, all right? Okay? Now, look, in every other issue of Spin magazine, we got the cover, okay? We got the cover, and we got on the inside, okay? We got another picture of the guy on the cover, right? So we see Keith Richards doing the business on the inside there, okay? So we know for a fact who's supposed to be on the cover of this Spin magazine, all right? But I don't got the cover, all right? I do not have the cover, man. I do not have it, but I'll tell you who it's supposed to be, okay? Man, I can't tell who that is, man. You guys have to tell me if you know who that is. I can't tell who that is, man. It's me. It's me. It's my. I feel like I should know who that is, but I can't tell who it is. I can't tell who it is, man. Look at this weird cigarette ad right there on the cover. Look at that, man. Look at that cigarette ad. Like, she looks so out of place with this cigarette in her hand. It's bizarre. Like, she's on a rock. She's on a rock. She's in her swimsuit, and she's got like a cigarette in her hand. It looks super out of place to me. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me. We see this was, we see that this was September 1985. So I wonder what the cover looked like for Spin magazine in September of 1985, right? All right, let's go to August, the month right before, all right? Who was on the cover in August? 1985, August. Who made the cover? Holy crap, guys, I found it. I freaking found it. I found it, guys. I freaking found it, guys. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys. This is September 1985. Guess what it was? It was Pat Benatar. I knew I should have known that, man. I found it. The cover was loose leaf. It was separated from the rest of the magazine. Pat Benatar, 1985. Spin magazine, September. All right. Let's go to August. August, 1985. Annie Lennox. 1985, August. All right. Annie Lennox. All right. Who's that girl? Annie Lennox. All right. Let's take it a month back to July 1985, Spin magazine, $2. Who made the cover in July? Sting. Sting was on the cover in July of 1985, Spin magazine, 40 years ago. That's what Sting looked like 40 years ago on the cover of Spin magazine. And the next one is really cool, man. This was March, okay? This is March. Let me tell you what year this was, okay? This was 1987, all right? 1987. Okay, so we're skipping forward a couple years. This is 1987. The magazine has jumped in price to $250 by 1987. This is 2 years after the last one. This is March of 1987. The Beastie Boys on the cover of Spin magazine. This was March 1987, $2.50. The Beastie Boys. Fighting for the right to party is hell, but someone has to do it. The Beastie Boys. Crazy. Now, I think like one of those guys are dead now, unfortunately. They look young there, though. Crazy, man. 1987. The Beastie Boys. And there's David Bowie, right? David Bowie. What next? Put Together Man, right? Another guy who's gone. He's not around anymore. Crazy. All right. February, I'll tell you the year, all right? February 1987, all right? This is February 1987, $2.50. Duran Duran on the cover of Spin magazine. Making up is hard to do. A pop group grows up. Duran Duran. All right. How many do I got left? I'll tell you how many I got left, guys. I got 2 left, all right? I got 2 left. These are really beat up, okay? The next one is back to $2. So I bet you can tell it's back to 1986. This is December of 1986. The end of 1986. Chrissie Hynde. The Great Pretender. 1986. It was $2 at the end of 1986. The beginning of 1987, they must have raised their price to $2.50, you know. There's a Jimmy Swaggart interview in there, too. TV's #1 rock and holy roller talks. And so do a few people he never thought would. Ooh. All right, last one, guys. This is January 1987, okay? And it was $2.50. So in December, it was $2, and at the end of 1986, it was still $2. In January 1987, they bumped their price to $2.50, and they put Janet Jackson on the cover. Okay, damn it, Janet! The battle for control of Janet Jackson. Free poster inside. I don't know what the free poster is, guys. These magazines are pretty beat up. We'll see if this poster is still in here. This is 1987. I will tell you if there's a poster in here. There might not be a poster in here anymore, you know. I don't know. Can you imagine if there was still a poster in here? That'd be crazy, man. It probably got taken out. Yeah, I don't see a poster in here anymore. A Janet Jackson poster. That probably got hung on somebody's wall. This is 1987. I mean, after all. Look at this, man. Look at this. Alpine. You guys remember Alpine? Alpine. 1987. Look at that. CD. You're looking at Sirius Entertainment. Huh. Now I'm curious what that poster looked like, man. I'm curious what we're talking about here with this poster. Oh, I found the Janet Jackson article, man. I found the Janet Jackson article. I'm not like some kind of huge Janet Jackson fan or anything. I'm just, I'm always interested in like posters and stuff like that. So, yeah, someone probably took the poster out. That's okay. They probably had like it was probably like in there. But that's it. That's Janet Jackson on the cover, man. Now, okay, so what's my favorite one out of all those covers? Oh, man. All right, I got to tell you, guys, I was born in 76, all right? I was born in 76, so I'll tell you my favorite. I'm gonna pull them out right now, and I'm gonna tell you what they are. Okay, I'm gonna give you my third favorite, my second favorite, and then my all-time favorite. Okay, so third favorite. All right, this Bruce Springsteen cover, like that is cool to me, man. The Boss. That's my third. That's my number 3 spot right there. All right. Who's my runner-up? Who's my second favorite cover? Gotta be the Beastie Boys, man. The Beastie Boys. And what's my favorite cover of all these? You guys could probably already guess it, man. You guys could probably already guess it. It's the Nirvana one from '92. You know, in '92, I was a sophomore in high school. I was 15 years old. So, you know, this speaks to my childhood at a time when I was really big into music. Some of these other ones, even though like I love them, they were before my time, right? And this has a special place in my heart, you know, me being kind of like from that time, so to speak. Anyways, look, man, I just had this idea to make this video and share these Spin magazines with you guys. I thought they were pretty cool. I found them at a garage sale for $4. I don't know. Did we get $4 of entertainment here today? I don't know. I thought it was pretty fun to look at them, take a little trip down memory lane. We just went back in time like 40 years. You know, that's what music was 40 years ago, right? Man, we have came a long way. I wonder if some of these artists wish that we were back 40 years ago now because they don't like the way things have gone with music. I don't really know. I could say, look at some of these covers. I definitely think that maybe music was in a better place 40 years ago in a lot of different ways. But that's just me, just one man's opinion. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Hope you enjoyed checking out these covers with me. If so, give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. Thanks for hanging out, guys. All right, peace now.